Yes, I'm Dr. Michael Baker with the Grief Education Center. I want to share another theory with you today. It's called meaning reconstruction. Meaning reconstruction. Now, I may use some technical terms in this, but understand this is the point that is made in meaning reconstruction is that where your life consisted of the former story, who you were before you lost your loved one. Now a new story develops, meaning reconstruction. And that there's a new journey, one we didn't even ask for. But when we lose our loved ones, life does change. The meaning of life often changes. For instance, I'll use my mother as an example. Before my dad passed away, they'd been married for 59 years. She'd been a wife, a preacher's wife, and most of her identity was tied up in Brother Bill Baker's wife. And so much of her existence lived to support my dad. And that was her story, a wonderful wife for 59 years. But with the loss of my dad, her story changes and a new story is developing. It's been 3 years since we lost my dad, and Mom still struggles at times, but the reality is she is adjusting. She didn't want to give up the old life. She didn't want to give up the old story. She didn't ask for a new story. But part of coping with loss is the development of meaning reconstruction, the development of a new story, a new journey. And so Robert Nehmeyer made this prominent in grief theory, and he sees, as contemporary grief theorist, he sees the affirmation or reconstruction of meaning after loss as the central process in grieving. And he, like several of these authors I've mentioned and grief theorists, they have chosen not to go with a cookie cutter approach to stages of grief. And so he sees it as a meaning reconstruction. A new story develops. And so one thing he says is, in the aftermath of life-altering loss, the bereaved are commonly precipitated in the search for meaning. Ultimately, the loss of a loved one will result in reconstruction of meaning, which will revise the narrative of the grief sufferer. Narrative, the story. According to Nehmeyer, the reconstruction of the narrative through meaning-making contributes to the resolution of grief as the grief sufferer adapts to the loss. As such, the person's life changes with every loss and reconstruction of meaning. And so ultimately, it's about a new story developing within you after you've lost someone. The coping of with the loss of a loved one and the adjustment to that loss, and the new story, the new journey that develops. And so that's meaning reconstruction. Thank you very much. Bye.